Color in Space is a business where the average homemaker, who isn't necessarily going to employ a designer, can get help in understanding how to make decisions about color and designing their home. We are the public elementary school for homeowners where anyone can get quality design assistance in making decisions, and that they are getting that education and information from an independent source, not a paint company. Paint companies are out to sell paint, not necessarily help you make decisions in the way that's going to be most cost effective and give you the best results. So my attempt is using those paint tools, but showing you how you can put them together in a way that's going to serve you the best, and also not create that phenomenon of chasing your tail and crazy making experience of second guessing your decisions. And because you can make a decision with the tools one time and then don't look at it until after the painting's done and you know it's going to come out perfectly. We're here in the Space Design Center with a client, Blake, who's embarking upon a cosmetic remodel of his entire townhouse that's in Bellevue, Washington, which was built, we believe, in the mid-70s. Blake is going to do an extensive kitchen remodel as well as a cosmetic remodel throughout the rest of the townhouse. And we don't exactly know how the kitchen remodel is going to happen yet, but what I know is that the finishes that happen in the kitchen will influence the colors and finishes throughout the rest of the townhouse. We want to have a flow that happens between all the communal living spaces, so the kitchen, hallways, dining room, living room. We want it to feel like a cohesive whole home. From space to space, it can feel different, but we want it to feel like it is one whole that flows, so we're not walking in a crayon box from room to room. And Blake and I already went to the tile store to choose some samples of things that would work for a backsplash. So we have set up here sort of a vignette of finishes and influences that we already know will be in Blake's new townhouse. So what I have here is a sample of cherry that will be for his cabinets. Then this is a concrete countertop sample that we believe Mod Rock concrete is going to create some sort of a countertop in these tones. And then we chose these two tiles when we were just at the tile store to give us a feel of the other finishes in the kitchen that will play with these things. Then I asked Blake here within space to choose a piece of art that spoke to him on some level in terms of color, texture, finish. And so this is the piece of art that Blake chose. He's starting from scratch. This is his first home. And in terms of furnishings and art and things like that, he doesn't really have much yet to build off of. If he did, those pieces would be here as well. But when we're starting from a blank place, I just like to get more than anything a spirit of color and texture that speaks to Blake. And before we get too far, we're going to build a palette with Benjamin Moore paint swatches. And when we build the palette with the paint swatches, I'm not just thinking of those swatches as paint colors. Those colors could be a sofa that Blake's going to go buy, or a rug, or some other piece of art or something in his space. So we're giving him a roadmap that's going to work for all of his colors and finishes throughout his whole home. He's just purchased it. This palette will serve him 5, 10 years, who knows how long, as his home continues to evolve and he builds that. And so I have here 3 samples of grout colors that, Blake, I'm going to ask you to choose which one feels best to you. And what this process that I'm going to have you choose, I want you to use the same thing when we go through the palette building process, which is, as much as possible, I want you to be in your body, be in your gut, and not in your head. So when you see these things come up here, feel in your body, does it feel good or not? And you'll know right away and trust that. You don't have to know why you like it or not. You just do or you don't. And what I'm doing as you respond is I'm also trying to kind of get a sense, like you might say, yeah, I like that. And then the next one you say, yeah, I like that. I get it. So I'm sorting and kind of keeping track for you of where you react. So it's a process of elimination, and pretty much the yeses are where we go. We want to say yes as much as possible. So here are 3 grout colors, and I'm going to show them to you individually in front of the tile in the cabinet sample, and you just say you like it or you don't. We haven't really talked a lot about color theory yet and some basic principles, but one thing I've learned with people when we start talking about color, people automatically say, ooh, is that too dark? I don't think of things in terms of light and dark anymore. I think of them more in terms of relationship and how they work together. So when I put these up here, I also want you to think like on a piece of art. Light colors come forward. They advance energetically. Dark colors recede and push back energetically. And that's a really important principle when we're using color in our homes. My own experience with white is that white advances so much energetically that I often will feel that a space is smaller if there's too much white because it's coming at me. Particularly with white ceilings, I feel like a white ceiling is coming down on top of me. So I kind of blow a lot of myths around color out because of how I know it makes me feel. So where this is particularly important with your tile is this limestone. We already noticed it has all these fossils and really beautiful natural features in there. Well, if I use grout that's too light with it, all I'm going to notice is that light grout. I'm not going to notice the fossils and the things that I want to see. So I know that choosing a grout color that's a bit on the darker side will push back and make the tile come forward. So that's what we're looking for, is what's going to accentuate that tile the most or enhance it the most.